Hey crafting buddies, welcome to my corner of the internet. I'm Lady Lynn, aka the Hairbow Master, and I've got a great one for you today. So grab your coffee, grab your scissors, and let's get crafting. Alright, today we're going to be making a gift box for hair bows, and we're going to start with the bottom of the box. And you're going to take your 12 by 12 paper and cut off a 1/2 inch from one side, and then turn it and cut off a 1/2 inch from the other side, and that way it is a 1/4 inch all the way around shorter or smaller than your top, which is going to be the full 12 by 12. And we're doing that so that one can fit inside of the other. As you can see here, we've got the top as a larger piece and the bottom as a smaller piece. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is find the center of our paper by turning it over, and you're going to put a line across the center and then turn it and put a line across the center there too. Now you could just fold it in half, but I don't like to have a crease in the top and bottom part of my box, so this is why I find the center and draw the line rather than putting a fold in it. Once you've got your lines, take each corner and you're going to take the tip of the corner and put it to that very center and kind of use the lines that you drew to make sure that it is lined up correctly, because your box is going to look really nice if you have these lined up perfectly. And could be a little bit off if they're not. So I just use the lines that I drew as my template for folding in each of the corners. And I like to use, I've got an embossing set that I got from Amazon, and I like to use the larger one to help put the creases in, because it just makes them a lot easier to see without actually destroying the paper or putting like lines and stuff in your paper by using something that's kind of maybe sharper or straight. So that's why you see me using that. And we're just going to fold all 4 of the corners right into the center. Alright, our next step is to take our ruler and put it across your piece of paper right in the center, and make sure that you use the lines on your ruler to make sure it's very, very straight across there. And we're going to carefully take the bottom part and we're going to fold it up to the center, and making sure that that line is nice and straight. Now you don't have to use your ruler for this if you can eyeball it, but I like to use my ruler just to make sure that it's super even and super straight. And once you've got your line, you can just use your ball stylus or whatever you want to use to make sure that crease is nicely creased. And then once you've got that line, it's really easy to fold the other side, because you can just fold it into the center right along that other line. And then you can just use your ball stylus to make that crease as well. And then now we're going to open it up, and we've got to do the same thing to the opposite sides. And I'm going to once again use my ruler and make sure that it's nice and even by placing it across the center and using the lines in my ruler to make sure it's straight, and then fold that bottom up to the center along the ruler to make sure it's nice and straight. And then we're going to turn it and fold up the bottom to that other crease that we just made, just like we did on the other side. Then we're just going to open it up.
Hold up. Before we go on, you know the drill. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. And if you did so, thanks. You guys are awesome.
Okay, so I just decided to draw on the lines here so you can see where all of our folds are. And as you can see, I took off the X because those are just draw lines, not fold lines. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take 2 of our corners and fold them into the center. And we're going to take our scissors and we're going to carefully cut along the line that you can see me cutting on here straight to where that center square starts at. And those are going to be the sides of our box. So we're going to just do that on those two sides. So just turn it all the way around and then cut it very carefully along that line, just to the very center of the box as well. And you can unfold them and cut that to it, but I just personally think it's easier to have them folded before I do the cut. And just make sure those cut all the way through. And then what we're going to do next is we're going to make our inserts. I got some cardboard from just some cereal boxes, and you're going to want to measure your box. These ones for the bottom are actually 3 15/16 in length, and the smaller side ones are 1 15/16, and then the larger square one is 3 15/16 by 3 15/16. And that's just the sizing that I came up with to make sure that they fold right. And what these are going to do, you don't have to do this part, but I like to put in the cardboard from the cereal boxes just to give it some more strength, so that I have kind of a hard box rather than a really soft paper box. So once you have them all done, you're going to turn it over, and you're going to add glue to we'll start with the center here. So we're going to add glue to the very center of our box. And I'm using the glue that is purple and turns clear, just so that you can see where I'm putting the glue. And then I put it on the back side of my cereal box. And if you have a thinner paper that you can see through, then you can glue it on the other side, which I'm going to end up doing to the top later, so that you can't see the cereal box drawings through it. And you can also use chipboard if you want to. You don't have to use cereal boxes. I just like to repurpose things because it saves some money. But then, yeah, we're going to put our larger square right in the center. And you're going to want to make sure that your fit is enough so that you can still fold your box up with the paper and everything without it messing up the paper and making it have to refold anywhere. You want it to stay on its creases. So you want it just a touch smaller than the, like if you measure it out, you want it a touch smaller than the square where your lines are. And as you can see, I have just a little bit of space in between that center and the sides. And that's how you want them to be, so that it will still fold correctly. And so you have 4 of the sides that you're going to glue just outside of the center piece. And then you have your centerpiece there. And in this one, I'm going to just put the 2 sides on and start folding it on this one. And then on the larger, the top part, you're going to see that I'm going to end up just gluing all of the side pieces on first and then folding it. But once you've got your side pieces on, this is the side that we had cut. You're just going to put some glue on it and fold it up over that side piece and into the center, and then do the same on the other side. You're just going to place the glue on the side up to the point, and then fold that over and glue it into the center as well. And then you're going to have some flaps on the side, which is where we had cut it, we're going to fold in. And we're going to put some glue on the white triangle part that you can see on one side and glue it to the back part of the one that folds over it, and that will hold those in place. And then what we're going to do is put our other 2 sides of cardboard onto it, and then fold that other paper over it, which you're going to see here in a second. So yeah, just put some, you can see I'm putting the glue right into the triangle part that is the back side of the paper. And then I'm going to glue it to the back of the other flap that comes around. And the other one, you didn't see me put glue on it because I had started to use my double-sided sticky tape, but I ran out. I didn't realize it was at the very end of the roll. So you could use the double-sided sticky tape as well if you want to. And so now you can see I'm going to be putting on the cardboard onto the other side and then folding the paper over that one as well. Okay, and then once you've got all of your sides folded in and over, then your bottom piece is done. You can just go along and make sure that everything's stuck down good. And you can see that the cardboard gives it some strength, so you don't have just paper. And I really like it that way. Then we're going to do our top the same, and as I said earlier, I just went ahead and glued them to where the cereal box drawings, or what would you call them? Gosh, I can't even think today. The cereal box illustrations, there we go, are on the inside, so that way, since this paper is a little bit thinner, you won't be able to see that through the paper on the other side. And I went ahead and just glued down all of the pieces and then did my folds. And the sizing I got for these ones, since this is our full 12-inch piece, is I had 4 by 4 for the center, or 4 1/8 inch by 4 1/8 inch for the center piece, and then the sides are each 4 1/8 inch by about 2 inches. So yeah, 4 1/8 inch by 2 inches for each of the sides on your 12-inch by 12-inch sheet for the top of your box. So we're doing the exact same thing to the top that we did to the bottom. We're just using a slightly larger sheet of paper so that when we are finished, the bottom will fit inside of the top of our box. So I am going to fast forward as we finish this top so I can show you what the result looks like in the end. Okay, so we've gotten our top done and we have our bottom done, and as you can see, the top is going to nicely fit over the bottom, and it's a nice good tight fit, and it will stay in place until you pull it out of there. And it is the perfect size for hair bows, and that's why I love making these boxes. Thanks for watching the HBM channel with Lady Lynn. Subscribe now, like this video, and leave a comment for a chance to win a ribbon grab bag. Then check hairbowmaster.com where I announce the weekly winners. Take care and have a wonderful day.